So welcome back YouTube, this is Dossie, aka NinchMovies. It has been several years since I've even touched this channel. I still frequently use it for my subscriptions, just really don't post anything. And yeah, welcome back. Feels great to be in front of the camera, a bit nerve-wracking to be honest. It's been a while since I just sat down and talked to a camera, I feel a bit awkward, but we'll get through it. Pretty much I'm going to be doing an old-fashioned Blu-ray update. It's been a fucking minute, boys, it really has. My collection is come and gone. And that was sort of what was the death of my channel, was because COVID, hit. We don't really want to talk about COVID, but we all know that the cinemas were closed, so I wasn't really seeing movies. I completely stopped collecting just for the simple fact that everything that I would buy would just eventually go on streaming, and I sort of lost the passion of just collecting, I guess, a bunch of cases that were going unopened. But a beautiful thing actually happened recently that sort of reignited the passion, and that was me moving into a new place and not having Wi-Fi for a couple of weeks. So the small Blu-ray collection that I held on to started actually getting watched. And it just sort of lit this passion, a little bit of fire in the belly. So I started looking at JB Hi-Fi, and one of the most beautiful things about not collecting for a couple of years is the fact, coming back to it, movies are so goddamn cheap right now. I got quite the deals. Also the other thing is, with such a downsized collection, it's really at the point where I can go for quality over quantity now, and I can re-buy some of my favourite movies because I don't have them anymore. So yeah, just sit right back, enjoy an old-fashioned Blu-ray update, and welcome back to the channel, guys. So let's just start off. I did a bulk order. I did all of this from JB. It's pretty much the best shop that Australia has for movies, as far as I'm concerned anyway. Everything arrived in one package, bar one, which actually just came today, so I guess we'll start off with that one. And that is the complete series. I thought it was only season 1, so I guess it was only one season, but it is the Swamp Thing. I'm just genuinely interested in this. I have no idea, haven't heard any reviews. I know it's DC, so I'm interested in that angle from it, but I pretty much picked this up just for the fact that Wes Craven did the old Swamp Thing movies, and I just want to see how a TV show would sort of span. I'm kind of at that realm now where I've really binged a lot of some of the greatest shows of all time, I catch a ferry every single day of my fucking working week, and me and my boss, for the 40-minute travel at a time, we just watch episode by episode, and we've really smashed through a lot of the big hitters out there. So something like this, a bit more niche, I'm just interested to see what it has to offer. The next one up is an absolute big boy, and I'm planning on doing an unboxing on this because I want to keep the videos a bit more frequent now that I actually, we're back on that passion kick. Might as well run with it while I got it. And what do they call them? This is the back of it, sorry. This is the Hammer Horror Triple Shock Volume 1. Now the price tag says $110, and I love Hammer and I love all these old school films, but the box sets are mad expensive. I got this on a 20% off, and basically this includes The Evil of Frankenstein, Paranoid, and Nightmare. 3 films I haven't seen. I've seen some of the very standard Hammer films, some of the old Frankenstein, some of the old Draculas, but they always, have a big hitter like The Evil of Frankenstein, and then a couple movies that I've never heard of. Paranoid, Nightmare, they might be great films. I haven't heard of them though. This is just interesting to me because I have a good friend, Caleb, and I'll leave his link to his YouTube down below. We actually are planning on going to a cinema that's doing sort of like these double feature nights, and they're showing some of the old school Hammer films. It's one of his biggest passions, so I bought this, for a little bit for me, but also maybe we could get into like, a couple movie nights, watch these prior to going to that double feature film night. So expect an unboxing coming up for that, but very cool box set. Excited to get into that. Moving on, we have pretty much, I would actually say this would have to be in my top 5 favourite films of all time, and that is Psycho. Now, I did watch this with my partner just the other day. This is actually one of the few ones that has been opened up, and I watched the Psycho uncut version because I believed I had never seen it, and watching it, I have no idea what was added in. Literally no idea. If anyone could let me know the differences, but it's pretty much the same film as far as I'm concerned, unless I was always watching the uncut version. But I'm a big fan of Bates Motel. That's one of my favorite shows of all time, and just the character of Norman is so goddamn interesting to me. So really enjoyed this. This has set another passion for me, which is picking up the sequels. I did watch Psycho 2 just one single time, and I'm obsessed with it, but it's a really odd and hard DVD to find. I'd never seen 3 and 4, and now that I have this and rewatched it, yeah, I just need to be chasing them sequels. I'm really keen. But Psycho, what do they call this? The 60th Anniversary Edition. Now this one's actually an interesting case as well. This is the Die Hard collection. Now, Die Hard was one of the first DVDs I owned ever, probably when I was about the age of 13, 14. Blu-rays weren't even really a thing. I was just strictly collecting DVDs, and Die Hard was one of the first films I had. I enjoyed it just fine, like it was fine. But everyone hails this movie as one of the best action movies of all time, and I was like, yeah, I've seen Die Hard, it was alright. I picked this collection up, rewatched this one recently, once again another one that's open. So all the discs there, Die Hard 2 is in the player right now. And I thought Die Hard 1 on a rewatch was fucking mad. I completely got it. Like, maybe it's because I'm older and it's something I'm more interested in now, but Die Hard 1 is a great action film. And with that said, I haven't seen any of the sequels, so I'm about halfway through Die Hard 2 now. Me and my partner did start watching it. I ended up falling asleep. You know how it goes, couch get way too comfy some nights after work, but I was thoroughly enjoying Die Hard 2. Seemed very similar, and I'm sure that all the films sort of run with the same sort of plot. Maybe they don't, I'll just have to wait and see, but Die Hard 1, highly recommend. I'm sure everyone out there has more or less seen it, but if you haven't seen it in a while, trust me, the rewatch, highly recommend. Now this one was just kind of like an impulse buy. But this is Batman Beyond the Complete Series. So I'm a big fan of, I believe it's the 90s show, or it was just called Batman. That's the one I've watched. I haven't seen a single episode of this, but for years I've heard that this is more or less the best series they ever did. And to get it all in one complete package, 52 episodes, I'm just feeling that this could be an easy binge show for me, something a little different, something that my partner's not really going to be that interested in, so it's going to be something for me. And you know, it's always good to have hobbies, so there that is. I have not opened it up yet. Original price $45 with the 20% off. I just thought, you know, might as well give it a whirl. Now these two buys were incredibly interesting to me because for me, XMen is not my favorite series of any, you know, superhero film, I guess. They're okay. I grew up especially on the original trilogy, but I actually found myself enjoying the beginning trilogy a lot more, at least the first 2 films. But the funniest thing about these were these, if you go to JB Hi-Fi and go by price, cheapest first, these are some of the cheapest Blu-rays on the site right now. I think these were $4 a piece, which is crazy for trilogy sets and pretty big films. Maybe just because they're all on Disney, people just figured that they're not going to buy the hard copies anymore, but I'm out here, $4 each, I couldn't complain. It'll be interesting to go back to the original trilogy. I haven't watched them in years, and then even though I enjoyed these thoroughly, I really only gave them a one-time viewing each, so this could be a good little series to get into soon. Another absolute cheapie, the Terminator. Don't really need to say anything about the Terminator. I know that I sort of, you know, doubted Die Hard back in the day and got into it, but I've always loved Terminator. And if I do any future Blu-ray updates, definitely plan to see a lot more Arnold Schwarzenegger films in here. Been a big fan of him for years, and you know, I love both sides of him. I like the pumping iron, and then I also love, you know, his movie star quality. But I actually recently watched the Netflix documentary on him and found, you know, his film career so much more interesting. So I definitely could see myself picking up a lot more of his films in the future. But $4 for this Blu-ray, why the hell not? Get in the collection. This one doesn't have a price tag on it, but I'm going to go with about $15 for this, and that is the Alien Anthology. I'd be really interested to watch this with my partner because she, for the longest time, was not a sci-fi fan, never enjoyed any sort of sci-fi, and then we watched the entire Planet of the Apes series, all the old schools like the 60s, 70s movies, and she really liked them, which is so weird. I would just consider them harder films to get into. But with that said, I bought this because I'm a big fan of the original Alien, and then I also love me to death Prometheus. I don't know why. It was like my first Blu-ray ever, so I think it's got that connection, but big fan of Prometheus, need to pick it up. Yeah, I just want to have a revisit for myself and then just see if she could get into a little bit more sci-fi. So yeah, pretty cheap little collection. Why not? Now, continuing with the sci-fi, this is the Star Wars original trilogy. Original price $30 with the 20% off. Now, me personally, I'm at the age where the prequels were my original trilogy. Like, they're the ones I grew up seeing, and I prefer them. Like, it's hard because these Star Wars people, you know, they get into it. That's just my opinion. I still love all the films, but the prequel trilogy, I need to pick that up because I really want to go back and revisit them, especially on Blu-ray. But watching a lot of older films and a lot of older sci-fi, I decided to go with this one simply because I want to see the Blu-ray quality of these films since I've never seen it. I'm just really keen. Be good to go back to them. Star Wars never gets old, and the longer you have gaps of like watching it, like if you give it like 2-3 years, I feel like it just blows your mind all over again. So really keen to get into these films again soon and pick up the other trilogies. And then the last but not least, we have Pokemon Indigo League Season 1. So, big fan of Pokemon. I've seen this Blu-ray going around a lot, and it's always really cheap. And kind of the way I've thought about it is, I like Pokemon enough. Season 1 is like 50 episodes. That's nearly as many episodes as the complete series of Batman, you know? So, I don't think I'm going to collect this as a series, but if I ever want a Pokemon kick, I feel like just having one season of it, it was on the cheap, why the hell not? It's not, if the seasons are running at 50 episodes a piece, like, I'm never going to watch all the Pokemon. It's just that simple, but a really cool thing to own, and the box set is super nice actually. I'll just open it up for you real quick. So it looks like this, and it folds out, really nice art. I mean, it's got 1 million discs for just one season, you know what I mean? Shit's crazy. They'd be pumping these apps out. But I think that was about, I'm going to say about $20. So I'm into it enough to pick it up, and there that is. And that's it, guys. But for me, that's the biggest haul I've done in years. So honestly, the passion's coming back a little bit. You know, I'm really enjoying this, and just the fact that I'm getting back into films the way I am. I'm putting myself in front of the camera, putting up a video, like getting off my lazy ass. There's something there, so I'm happy with it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully I was, you know, talkative enough and not and ahhing. Straight into the arms. Yeah, I just hope I did alright, not too awkward. And with that said, this is Dossie signing off, NinchMovies. Sub, do your thing. Love you guys.